By now, you've probably noticed that the updates have gotten a little bit weird. There was no update last Thursday for Mega Man X2, for example. The reason for this is since early May, one of my relatives has been diagnosed with a terminal illness. That's the reason for the craziness on the channel over the past few months. That's the reason for the move I've had to make. And yeah, so I'm gonna try not to be super depressing in this video. I just dropped like a really heavy bombshell that a member of my family is not is yes. So we have been informed late last week that said family member's condition has worsened. So I'm going to be taking a week. I'm going to be heading to a relative's place later today, and we're going to be driving all day tomorrow, and I'm going to be gone for the next week or so. So this is me explaining where I'm going to be, so I don't up and disappear again. Um, this was the reason for the prolonged absences in recent years, was looking after this relative and looking after this family member, as they have been very sick for the past few years. I had to basically devote a lot of my time to supporting them, and that's the reason why I kind of disappear on and off. It wasn't because I didn't want to do stuff for the channel, and I probably should have said something. I more than likely should have said something, um, but it was what it was. So they are not doing so well. Obviously, their condition has deteriorated, and I'm going to be taking a week over there. Updates will continue. Uh, Dead Space just went up yesterday. By the time you hear this, I am probably already on the road. I probably we're probably already driving. I'm probably just gonna upload this on Tuesday. I'll just edit it at their place. I'm going to be bringing my laptop with me, so I'm going to be able to edit and render and upload stuff, and that'll keep going. I've got some mostly without commentary, most of the footage won't have commentary. I've got another episode of Dead Space I got to record that I want to record. I don't know if I'll have the time, but I can try. At least I can record another 30-minute episode of it. But I've still got to get. I'm uploading Dead Space right now, so I've got to get packed. I got to pack all my. I got to pack my laptop away. I got to pack clothes for a week. Like toiletries, all that shit, and then I'm going to be off. This is the reason for the move. This is the reason for all the craziness. This is the reason for the other week I took off a while back. Um, so yeah, I didn't really have time to prepare for this trip in terms of footage, mostly because this was like the news that their condition had worsened significantly has just been dropped on me. So it was just dropped like this weekend. So there is I have to plan because the house I'm living in right now I'm living with has like other people. I have two roommates, one of whom is my brother, and so I have to sort of plan out when I'm going to be recording stuff because the walls are very thin. People got to sleep, and also they like to play stuff like licensed music and shit with through like a surround system. So I have to be very careful in my planning of when I record because I don't want my shit to get flagged. Um, and I just don't feel like it's cool to start banging on doors. I'm recording. Turn your shit down. I don't want to do that. Um, so I might. It might happen. I don't know. But That's where things are. The updates will continue. This Friday, there's going to be some footage from Star Trek Online. Again, no commentary. It's just me going through some old dailies I haven't done in ages while trying to get the game running and not rubber banding anymore. It doesn't work. In fact, early on, the game crashes on me, and uh, right at that loading screen at the end of Trailus, um, there are two crashes in Trailus. The first time it crashes is loading Trailus. Then the second time it crashes is loading sector space after completing Trailus. And after the second crash, I uninstalled the game completely. Just deleted the folder, reinstalled it from scratch, and tried to see if that would improve anything. It didn't. I'm at the end of my rope with Star Trek Online. I've tried pretty much everything to get this game running, to get this game's connection running smoothly. However, the fact that my brother can play Star Trek Online on Xbox One with no connection problems whatsoever, going through the same wireless network I do, tells me that the problem is on Cryptic's end. So, yeah. You notice I shifted that topic very quickly. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. This is not a. I tried recording this. I've tried recording this a bunch of times, and I've tried going into detail a bunch of times, and that hasn't worked out very well for me. Um, I tried to just sort of like brute force my way through it, and I basically spent the entire the entire audio log shouting, and I don't want it. I don't want to sound like I don't want to like look through my channel and see this video and remember myself sounding like the biggest asshole right now because because I'm trying not to be super grim and depressing in this video. Um, even though even though I feel like shit, to be honest. It's not a good feeling when a family member is going through um, what this person is going through, and that all you can do is try and make them as comfortable as possible. Um, and I'm going to stop there before things get worse. Uh, I'm going to stop there before this attempt goes south too. Um, so yeah, I'm not in the best place right now. Trying to keep it strong, and gonna go see some family um, and visit for a week or so. It's gonna be a lot of stock footage uploaded, a lot of filler footage. Um, Sorry about that. It's the best I can do, given the situation. I will try and record another episode of Dead Space. Um, and suppose I got time. I got time. I got time for an episode of Dead Space. We'll see. It all depends on when the licensed music starts playing through the walls. Um, but yeah, you're probably going to see this. By the time you see this, I'm going to be already on the road. We're going to be driving. Um, I'm not looking forward to this road trip at all. This will not be a happy. This will not be a happy road trip. Um, going to try and keep my spirits high so that this trip does not go badly. So it's not like it's gonna be grim. So that it's not too. So that it doesn't feel like we're taking years. You gotta kind of the key of like surviving a long road trip I've found over the past couple months, just taking trips back and forth. Like half the road trips I've taken, I haven't even said anything about on the channel because I've had time to prepare. So it's an all day drive there and back again. So I have learned that the sort of key to surviving, like regular, all day, just drive forever road trips, is to try to remain as positive as you can. You know, sort of like don't sweat the small stuff. Just try and keep talking and keep conversing and try to entertain the person who is driving at that moment as best you can. And if you are driving, just sort of like don't sweat the small stuff of whatever somebody else is saying and let them just sort of keep you in there, keep you going, keep you driving, so that you don't get bored or you don't like sort of get hypnotized by the road, because that can happen too. Um, so yeah, trying to keep myself positive, trying to keep myself, uh, yeah, trying to keep myself positive. So I'm gonna try to record some Dead Space now, and I will hopefully see you guys next week. Um, I don't know about Rise of the Red Shirt because the game runs. The game runs. The game is playable in a very, very, very broad sense. It's playable with sarcasm quotes, but it's not exactly up to the level of presentation that I would like to give the game. Like, it's not as presentable with this ridiculous rubber banding. I would like to give the game a better show than the game is allowing me to do. And it's not because of anything on my end, clearly, because the Xbox One works perfectly fine, and it's going through the same wireless network, it's going through the same pipelines that my computer is going through. Obviously, I can't do a trace route on the Xbox. Um, Unless I can, I might try that. But when I get back, but that might be a fun experiment. But it's going through the same. It's clearly going through the same pipeline. It's using the same internet service provider. It's going through the same broadband route. It's going through the same wireless router. It's going through the same broadband modem. It's going through the same ISP. It's going through the same pipelines. It works. The PC version isn't. And that's something that's on Cryptic. I have done everything I can do to get this game working properly. It's Cryptic's side that is the problem here. And I think that's a good place to leave it. A good subject to leave it on. Ah. Oh. So I'll see you guys next week. Sorry about all the filler. I'm going to start doing a lot of Dragon Ball Xenoverse because Xenoverse 2 comes out next month. And I want to get Xenoverse 1 covered. I had to sneeze. Uh, I want to get Xenoverse 1 covered to like some extent before I venture into the world of Xenoverse 2. And I've been looking forward to that game ever since it was announced. Been looking forward to that game ever since Xenoverse 1, because it seemed like there were a lot of things in Xenoverse 1 that they could use a sequel to iron out and make it a much better game. Xenoverse 1 is already a fantastic game. I love it. But certainly room for improvement, and it looks like they've been making a lot of those improvements in all the errata, the press stuff for Xenoverse 2, and all the footage they've shown, and all the sort of like the discussions the devs have had with various like publications and Famitsu and stuff. It looks like they've been taking a lot of the complaints from Xenoverse 1 to heart, and it looks like it's going to be a really cool game, and I am really super excited to play it. And yes, and I already have like a role play reason for why I'm playing the same character in Xenoverse 2. It's the same character, but it's not the same version of the character, because there's like 3 versions of Trunks, so if Trunks can, so can I, pretty much. But But yeah, I'm already super excited for this game. I'm already ready to play it. I'm already ready to grind like a fucking moron to get my um, unlock potential back. I just want some version of that in Xenoverse 2 to be available at default. But that'll all be after I get back next week. And yeah, I don't expect this to be a very cheerful visit. I don't expect this to go. I don't expect this to be a happy visit. Um, I am going to try and keep strong, try and keep others strong, and I will see you guys next week for the 800th time I think I've said in this vlog. Alright, I gotta record some Dead Space now. I think I'm warmed up to record some Dead Space now. Alright, see you guys next week.